Hello, it's Angela here to share with you the third card I've made using the Hobbybase Club box number 15, which has a honeybee theme. This one has an easel card base, and you get the card base in the box, and it simply goes down to a 6x6 shape, but if you prop it up, it will go into an easel position. You need to create the stopper though. So what I did is I got the base out, and you might see that mine's sort of attached at the top. I didn't want it loose, so I added some tape behind the panel, just halfway, so it just holds it there. But yours will be loose when you get it, so it's up to you whether you put the tape in or not. I put it in because it strengthens it and holds it in shape. Right, so I started off by trimming down one of the paper pieces just slightly, so it's just slightly smaller than the card front, and I've used one with a flower on there. And for the base I did the same, just trimmed down one of the sheets of paper in the box. I think those are 6x6 papers. And then for the base itself, I added a smaller piece of paper, taking it up about halfway up the base. It's really just so I know where I'm going to put in my stopper. So with those laid flat using double-sided tape, I then created the stopper panel. Now for this one I used the embossing folder and embossed some white card. The embossing folder comes in the box and has a nice repeat pattern on there of honeybees. So I embossed some white card, I trimmed it down to size, and then I added a little strip of contrasting paper from the box. Now by placing this on 3D foam onto the base, it just raises it enough for it to create a stopper for your easel. What else did I do? Oh, I added some flowers, some paper roses here, just for decoration, and a honeybee charm because they're so sweet, and why not? Okay, so really for the main panel, you'll notice it's actually been stamped and coloured. Now I used some watercolour card for that because I was using distress inks and quite a bit of water. But you can use other card. It's up to you whether you're using a water-based ink and how much water you're going to be using. You can get away with using normal card with distress inks, but just be careful with the water if you're going to be blending and working it a lot. So I've used watercolour card here, and what I've done is I've blended some green colours in the background, just really to give the impression of a meadow, and at the top I've blended some of the bluer colours of inks, splashed a little bit of water on there and patted it dry and then left it to dry. Now you can use a heat tool on it if you want to speed it up. Now for the stamping, I started first off by doing the black flowers in a black ink, and they where's that stamp gone? I've lost the stamp. What have I just done with that? Oh dear. I did have it. Oh, there it is. Right, I started with this stamp here from the sheet, and you can actually see most of it is there, and then I've used a little bit less there and there and there. What you want to do is aim to be going off the sheet of card, go off the page, and by turning it you can also get just the flower heads, and it just gives a bit more variety to the flowers. So that was stamped in a black waterproof ink because obviously I've used water base behind, but I also was going to be colouring with watercolours. Now I stamped the bumblebee in the centre, again in the black ink, same as the flowers. For the foliage, now I used this stamp here, which looks like a large leafy fern, but I didn't use it really fully. What I did is I used a pale green ink, and I've used it sort of around the edges, moving it about, just to get little elements. It doesn't matter you're stamping over the flowers you've stamped earlier, because it's a pale green colour and it will recede into the background. So I made sure to go up the left side more and come down just to here, just really to frame the scene, leaving this area blank ready for our sentiment. The sentiment was stamped using a reddy dark brown colour, and just put that in the sky there. Now what else did I do? Oh yes, I coloured these. Now the flowers have been coloured in a sparkle pen, sort of a reddy pinky colour, and the centres are yellow. I used a green aqua pen, 2 different colours I think on the leaves and stems. It doesn't need to be precise because you're giving just an impression of the meadow. And for the bee I've used yellow and like a peachy colour for the wings. Now the little trail there, just a black pen, just a little black fine liner pen, just to doodle a little trail just to finish it off. Now when the watercolour and the stamping and the colouring was all dry, it was trimmed down. I can't remember what size that is, but I think it's in the instructions. So I trimmed that down and I matted it onto a panel of embossed card, embossed with the embossing folder. Now I've used the embossed side upwards on this one, but you get quite a nice effect if you use the debossed side as well. So, you know, you can mix and match, do which you prefer. Now the panel was mounted onto the easel front using 3D foam tape just to raise it. And I finished off with some gems, 3 at the top left and 3 at the bottom right. And there it is. That's our easel card finished. Thank you for watching.